Welcome back, and here is part 2 of our TLC information videos. What to do in the first few days.
The first few days with your new fosters are paramount to building the foundation for the relationship that you have in the future. It is important that these kittens associate you with positive interactions and understand that their most important resource, food, is now coming from you. Now, how you approach this is dependent on the kittens that you have, and there are two options that we can look at. The first option I'll discuss is best suited to kittens who are at a suitable weight, who aren't resource guarding or showing any signs of food aggression, and who will eat food readily in your presence. Both options are very time consuming, and you can expect to spend about 20 to 30 minutes at each feed with them.
In this option, you won't be free feeding the kitten at all. This means that you won't be leaving any food down for them when you aren't a presence. The only exception to this is for the overnight period. This is a long time, and leaving kittens without food for too long can be detrimental to their growth. Every mealtime, you'll be using their food to create a positive association and reliance for this resource on you. Your first few sessions will just be spent with them eating out of a bowl while they get used to your presence. Spend this time talking to them softly and making small movements. Resist the urge to touch them whilst eating. We will work on handling later, and introducing handling whilst they are eating too early can run the risk of them creating a negative association with the food and not wanting to eat around you. Once they are comfortable with your presence, you can start to hand feed them all of their meals. Put a small amount of food on your fingers and offer it to them. You may need to smear a bit on their face to encourage them to start eating. You can start moving them closer and closer to you as they eat off your fingers. Ensure to break their meals up into 5 to 6 sessions over the day to ensure you're giving them maximum socialisation time with you. The second option we will talk about is better suited for kittens who are underweight or exhibiting behaviours that show they have been deprived of food in the past, such as snatching or resource guarding. In this option, you will free feed the kitten, ensuring that they have access to food all the time. However, the food that we leave with them will only be of low value, for example, dry food. You will still break their meals into 5 to 6 feeds per day, and at these sessions you will utilise high value food such as wet food or chicken to elicit that positive association. What about weighing these TLC kittens? This will depend on the kitten, and if they are not coping with being handled at all, then ensure you are monitoring their eating and that they are getting enough. Wherever possible, we do want to monitor their weight daily. If you are using a bowl-shaped scale, try using some wet food and smearing it on the side. This can act as a reward or distraction to being in the scales for the kitten, but as you'll see, doesn't always work. Pop the kitten in the bowl, showing them the wet food, and then they only need to stay in there momentarily for you to get a quick reading before they can hop out. Remember the 3-hit rule. If it hits a number 3 times, take that as the reading. If you are utilising flat scales, you can take a different approach. Pop their food bowl on the scale and tear it so that it takes that weight into account. At this point, you can either lift the kitten onto the scales, or you can encourage them to hop up themselves, utilising that hand feeding that you have been working on. We recommend that when weighing these TLC kittens, to do it in their safe area, inside the playpen. This prevents them from getting too distressed by leaving somewhere that they feel comfortable in. Thanks for watching part 2 of our TLC kitten videos. In our next video, we will look at desensitizing these kittens to handling and the end goal that we're trying to reach.